What to notice for a plant in the cloakroom suites in the home. We all invest a lot of energy in the washroom, and most of that time we spend it reviving ourselves. It just calls attention to that this significant room must be as reviving and as agreeable as could be expected under the circumstances. Nature is the most reviving method for doing it. Think about practicing environmental awareness and having a washroom plant. Aside from offering a characteristic window ornament and improving the washroom's stylistic theme, plants are notable for normally cleaning the air. The vast majority would be reluctant to set a plant in the washroom or cloakroom suites. However, what other places would be the best all-around a plant? Components to think about when purchasing a washroom plant. The interesting primary point is that this plant should be an indoor plant, a house plant. You likewise need to think about where you expect to put the plant. If you mean on putting it on a windowsill, there are chances that it will be presented to the outrageous components of a day of sun and ought to be versatile to the equivalent in cloakroom suites. Cloakroom suites are normally dull often, and one ought to think about the measure of lighting accessible for the plant. For instance, if you expect to put a plant in a little fenced-in area, for example, a cloakroom suite, you have to consider the lighting that will be extraordinary if the plant was to be in a full restroom or a shower walled-in area. A few plants will flourish with low lighting, and others won't. You likewise need to mull over the dampness that is generally there around the cloakroom suites. Plants in the washroom need to be versatile to the moistness. Kind of plants that do well in the restroom. The most widely recognized plants that flourish in the washroom incorporate bamboo assortments, aloe vera plants, greeneries, African violets, and petition plants. The Chinese evergreen is likewise one of the most favored restroom plants since it requires almost no consideration and is extremely verdant, just as wonderful. The African violets plants come in different hues yet need somewhat more consideration than the Chinese evergreen. They likewise need a great deal of lighting and will do well on edges, or you can purchase extra lighting for the plant. They will blossom consistently, and they smell incredible in cloakroom sets UK. Plants like the snake plant resemble desert flora. They are extreme and can become exceptionally tall. They do require a great deal of daylight and may not function admirably in extremely dim restrooms. Generally, the cloakroom suite is insignificant in their plan and will supplement a cutting-edge washroom. When purchasing your WC, ensure that you check whether your toilet reservoir is remembered for the pack. Regularly, because the reservoir is a standard thing, you should purchase the two independently. You would prefer not to employ a temporary worker to introduce your restroom and find that something as fundamental as a can reservoir is missing, so a twofold check in case you don't know. You'll require wall mounting support for Yukon reservoir, as well. Once more, this may accompany the disguised storage or might be sold independently. Recall also that taps and squanders in the cloakroom suite are not commonly included as a component of your bowl buy. Once more, to forestall any hitches on the establishment day, ensure you pick taps and a waste which will supplement your bowl essentially just as tastefully. The bowl might be pre-drilled for taps. Check whether there is one gap or two and purchase your taps as needs are. Check whether your bowl has a flood opening. If it does, you'll need an open waste, and if not, you'll need an unslotted assortment. Hence, the cloakroom suite contains accessories that any other bathroom has, but the plants are the reasons which make the real difference.